tuned in to the NFL Draft Bible Players Spotlight Show.
Welcome back to the NFL Draft Bible Players Spotlight Show. I am your host, Chris Shanafelt, and here at the NFL Draft Bible, we've been bringing you the names that you need to know first since 2002. Don't forget to visit the website, NFLDraftBible.com. Follow on Twitter at NFL Draft Bible. And joining the show now is arguably the top quarterback in all of Division II football. He was a runner-up for the Harlan Hill Trophy last year, and he was certainly key to his team's 11-2 record. It's really a pleasure to welcome onto the show a quarterback out of Texas A&M Commerce. He is Luis Perez, and Luis, I really do appreciate you taking some time out of your day to chat. How's everything going?
Doing great. Thank you.
Hey, the pleasure is all mine, and let's go ahead and get right into it, Luis. You guys have a big test to open up the season as you guys travel to Florence, Alabama on August 31st to take on the number 6 ranked team in all of Division II, North Alabama. Last year, North Alabama actually made it to the national championship game. They came up just short, but regardless, they got there. Now, I know the preseason coaches poll recently came out. They're number 6. You guys are number 5. You guys are going to be traveling there again August 31st. How have you been preparing to kick off your senior season against such a quality opponent? I'm sure a lot of eyes are going to be on this matchup, seeing as both teams are ranked there at number 5, at number 6, and really just have a lot of talent, a lot of success from a year ago. Obviously, a different team, a different season. But again, how have you been preparing for not only this matchup, but just to kick off your senior season as a whole?
Yeah, well, just, first off, just getting used to all the new faces that came in. So freshmen, transfers, still kind of trying to decide a few spots on the offense. So just trying to get on the same page with those guys and just trying to apply everything that the coaches are giving me and just getting ready for the first game.
And what were some of the things you spent some time focusing on in the offseason, Luis? And when did that start? I mean, following the playoff loss to Grand Valley State, I'm sure that was tough to get over. But seeing as you were a junior, you're going to be going into your senior season. I'm sure you had to get over that pretty quickly. When did you start preparing for your senior season? And what were some of the things that you were kind of working on to get better at as a senior?
Well, after we lost to Grand Valley, I took a few days off, and, it was time to get back to business. So, I've been working a lot on, flexibility, just getting a better understanding of the offense and just learning how to be a better quarterback, better leader on and off the field and all that good stuff.
A lot of times, especially with players that have the talent that you do, Luis, a lot of times they may be undersized or maybe there's some off-the-field trouble as to why they're playing Division II. That's not the case with you. I mean, doing some research for this interview, Luis, I see that you're still relatively new to the game of football. I mean, you didn't really play at all in high school. Actually, I shouldn't even say really. You did not play at all in high school. Bowling was actually your first love, if I have that correct. Can you just tell myself and the listeners about your journey to Commerce? I mean, beginning at the JUCO level, walking on at Southwestern. I mean, I got to think that takes a lot of courage. I mean, never playing the game of football and then being at the college level, regardless of what level that is, whether it's JUCO, D1, D2, whatever it is, just to go out there and try out, especially at the quarterback position when you've never played this game. I mean, what made you go for it all?
Well, growing up, NFL was the dream. And so I played football growing up until I got to high school. When I got to high school, so they changed me position. So I tried out for quarterback. They said, no, you know what, we have a quarterback. I want you to try out for wide receiver. And I said, sure, whatever's best for the team. So, went in there, started practicing. A few weeks went by, and, just my priorities were different. I stopped loving the game of football and all that good stuff, and I got into bowling. I would compete nationally. I'd go to Arizona, Vegas, all of California, all that kind of stuff. But I actually so I didn't go to any football games until my senior year. I went to the last home game we had, and I kind of had like a wake-up call. So I got there, and, some of my buddies were on the football team, and I went to watch them, and I just, it was so hard for me to be in the stands watching, my brothers play. That was the toughest thing for me. And I knew I still had something in the tank to be able to play. So I ended up walking on at a junior college that's about 5 minutes from my house. And So that was tough, not playing quarterback, not really training. I trained a few months before I knew I was going to try out, but I was always playing catch-up, trying to learn defenses, fronts, timing, this route goes with this footwork, all that good stuff. So, just playing catch-up was, that was the hardest thing. So I knew I had to work really hard to get to where everybody else was. And so we had about 8 quarterbacks my freshman year when I walked on. And the head coach was like, you know what? We have a lot of guys. We really don't need you. You didn't play high school football. Who are you? And I'm like, okay, coach. I'll be on the sideline. I want to learn and I want to compete. And slowly but surely, God has His way. And people switch positions, transfer, injuries, all that good stuff. And I went from 8th to 4th in a matter of a few months. And so only the top 4 guys would get any 7-on-7 reps or any team reps. And so that started, and I finally started getting some reps and all that stuff. And I didn't do very good at first. It was just the first time that I really go, against the defense, seeing the defense, figuring out how to attack it, all that stuff it's just foreign to me at the time. So I had to work at it. And so I ended up winning the second string job my freshman year at Southwestern. We had a scrimmage, and I did fairly well. And coach named me number 2. So, and going in, I think it was week 4 or 5 of my freshman year, starter goes down, separates the AC joint in third quarter of about the 4th or 5th week. And I go in and I throw 3 touchdowns in a quarter. And I got to start the next week after that. And I think I had like 4 touchdowns, 300-something yards, and, we ended up being a good team. So that's kind of how it started. That's kind of how it all started. And a few weeks after that, I ended up breaking my leg during the game. So that was tough. That was probably one of the toughest moments in my life, just knowing I was so close to reaching what I wanted to do. And, devastating injury like that just sets you back. But I was able to come back, rehab and all that stuff, missed about half a spring my sophomore year, and ended up starting my sophomore year. So they had a Division I transfer from FIU. He was the San Diego Player of the Year, what we call is the pigskin winner of California. I ended up beating him out. We ended up going 10-1, game, all that good stuff. So that's kind of how I came up. And then, I had some Division I schools calling me and all that, but everybody was, lack of experience. He didn't play high school football, all that stuff. So, but I'm glad I'm here where I'm at now. So Commerce is where I'm at now, and I'm loving it, and I wouldn't change it for anything.
And obviously, again, like you said, the rest is history. I mean, you've seen a lot of success there at Commerce. You're all things are looking up for you entering your senior year. Now, I did mention the sport of bowling, Luis. How, if at all, has bowling helped you play the quarterback position? I mean, we hear every year about basketball players maybe getting a shot in college or even the NFL. A name that comes right to mind is Rico Gathers, a tight end for the Dallas Cowboys. Didn't play a snap of college football, was Baylor's, I believe, all-time leading rebounder, and here he is now making some plays in preseason and being drafted by the Dallas Cowboys. We hear about the guys that play basketball or, a sport similar to it, rugby, all that. How did bowling, or how does bowling, if at all, help you with the quarterback position? Is there any similarities or anything that can help you out playing quarterback by your past of playing bowling?
Well, bowling sport itself, I can't really relate anything to quarterback, but what it did help me was just working hard. I wanted to become, the best bowler. So, all the hard work that I had to put in to do that, I applied the same when I wanted to do the same thing at the quarterback position. So just, doing whatever it takes to reach your goal. And then that's kind of where I'm at now. Is just, I want to do whatever it takes. It doesn't matter if I say after practice an extra hour, get there an hour before, just everything, just a work ethic. That's one thing that bowling did show me, was you can accomplish anything you want if you work hard for it.
Well, what's the best you've ever bowled? What's your best score?
I bowled a perfect game before.
Nice. I've never been that close. I think I may have hit 200 once. I'm no great bowler at all, but I have witnessed somebody bowl a perfect game, and that's one of the most incredible things I think I would personally ever see. So congrats on that. I personally do love going out. It's a fun sport. It's great to do. So when I've seen that you were a big time bowler and now hearing you bowl the perfect game, That's really awesome. Again, everybody, we're chatting with Texas A&M Commerce quarterback, senior quarterback at that, Luis Perez here on the NFL Draft Bible Player Spotlight Show. I am your host, Chris Shanafelt. Don't forget, you can check out this interview and more over at NFLDraftBible.com. Certainly keep tabs on this name, Luis Perez, the 6'3", 220-pound quarterback out of Texas A&M Commerce, arguably the top quarterback in all of Division II. And Luis, between head coach Colby Carthel, offensive coordinator Matt Storm, and quarterback coach Jared May, how have they been able to make you a better quarterback and really gather your strengths and make it translate in live gameplay?
Oh, Coach Carthel, Storm, and Coach May, I mean, they all do a fantastic job getting me ready, running the offense around my strengths and just kind of getting prepared, teaching me. I love being a sponge around them. They have a lot of knowledge, and I feel like that's one thing that I'm really good at is just taking in everything that they say and applying it. That's the biggest thing.
I remember last year, obviously the NFL draft is our bread and butter at NFLDraftBible.com. One of your guys, Lance Evans, one of the receivers on your team, really stood out. And you're going to be without not only Lance Evans, but another one of your top receivers in Darby Smith this season, Luis. Who can we expect to step up in their absence at wide receiver? And how much time do you anticipate it'll take to kind of gel with some of the other receivers that maybe you haven't spent so much time with on the field?
Well, it's still early in camp. It's kind of hard to tell who's really going to step up that role. We have a lot of guys that have the potential to do it, but it's still just hard to tell, this early in camp. So, I mean, we're hoping for a lot of guys like Buck, returning Hooks and those guys and DeArthur, but, it's still early in camp, so we'll see what happens, in the next few weeks.
Without a doubt. Well, Luis, you are coming off of a damn good junior year in which you led the conference with over 3,300 passing yards. You broke the school record for touchdown passes in a season with 32. You're definitely one of the most efficient quarterbacks in all of the country. And as I said in the opening, at the start of the interview, you're in the running up for the Harlan Hill Trophy, which is Division II's Heisman Trophy. Is that one of your goals for this season, to win that trophy, or is that something that you really haven't put much thought into?
You know what? Football's a team game, and to me, the ultimate goal is to win a national championship, So that's really where my eyes are at now. It's just winning the national championship. That's the goal I've had since I got here, and hopefully with the team we have, with the great offensive line we have, receiving core, running back position, all our great defense. That's the main goal. So that's really what I'm worried about.
Well, it is your senior season, Luis. I know you have big plans for the future. You guys have won conference the past 3 seasons. What are both your personal and expectations for this coming season?
Personal, just improve on last year. Last year I did have a decent season, but, my goal is to just improve. Can't tell you how much, but I do want to improve. I want to get better at my weaknesses and keep my strengths. So that's one thing that I'm definitely looking forward to.
Well, I got to tell you what, I really respect your level-headedness, Luis. I got to say, though, I think you got to give yourself some more credit than that, man. You had better than a decent season last year, man. You had a better than a decent season. Again, can make a really solid argument that you could have won that Harlan Hill Trophy last year. And again, that's something I really like about you. I've been able to notice throughout the past 15 minutes we've been speaking. So got to respect that. Talk about leadership. I mean, everybody looks at the quarterback to be the leader of their team. What kind of leader are you, and how do those leadership tendencies show on the field and in practice?
Well, to me, leadership is one of the most important qualities in a quarterback. Just being able to lead a team. When you're down, you got to pick everybody up. It's easy to lead when you're up and you're winning and everything's good. But when it's raining, when we're down 20 points at halftime, that's when a real leader steps up and rallies everybody and just gets them prepared and to win the game. So that's really one thing that I really take pride in is my leadership.
No doubt about it. A couple more questions for you, and then I'll let you go, Luis. Really do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to chat. If you could, let's say we got a wide audience listening. Everybody who tunes into the show, I got to think is a fan of small school football somehow. if you could not only sell yourself, but the Texas A&M Commerce Lions football team as a whole to the audience, and tell them why they should tune in this season, and they should tune in August 31st against North Alabama. What will they see out of you at quarterback, and what will they see from the team as a whole?
Well, you're gonna see a unit that does whatever it takes to win, and we have our motto here that it's to the top. Okay, so we will take this thing to the top with all the athletes, all the coaches we have around, our strength coach, all together. We're gonna take this thing to the top. So stay tuned in.
Well, final question for you, Luis. I'm sure everybody has that Week 1 matchup circled on their calendar, and I don't want you to look past any opponents or look past any games. But besides that Week 1 matchup, I mean, you guys play in a pretty tough Division II conference in the Lone Star Conference. Do you have any games circled on your calendar?
Not really, to be honest. The game I'm worried about now is UNA, and, after that it's going to be William Jewell. So we just got to take each game and just take it one game at a time. You can't look past any opponents. That's how you get beat. So we just like taking it one game at a time, and our coaches do a fantastic job of keeping our heads that way.
Hey, no doubt about it. Well, hey, number 5 against number 6 to start the season. Certainly cannot go wrong with that. Definitely a lot of eyes will be on that game. I'm certainly going to be tuning in, not only that game, but, of course, the remainder of the season to check you out, of course, and I'm sure a few of your teammates as well. Luis, I really do appreciate you taking some time to chat this afternoon. It's been a lot of fun, and, again, congrats on the past success, and here's to even more this year, your senior season, man.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.